Hello, everyone. I'm Randy Arrington, and welcome to the 44th episode of Page Valley Living. We're here today at the old train depot, also known as the Luray-Page County Visitor Center, which is home to the Luray-Page County Chamber of Commerce and the Luray Downtown Initiative. We're going to be talking today with Jackie Wood, the program director of the Luray Downtown Initiative, about the recent Halloween events, some awards and things that LDI has recently gotten, what projects they may have coming up next, but most importantly, a lot of what's going on with the moving and shaking with downtown businesses here in the town of Luray. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about all of that, but first, let's hear a word from our sponsor. At Luray Caverns, from well-lighted paved walkways, explore cathedral-sized rooms with ceilings 10 stories high, and walk among huge chambers filled with towering stone columns. Come visit Geology's Hall of Fame, only at Luray Caverns. Visit them online at luraycaverns.com to plan your trip today. Episode 44 of Page Valley Living is being recorded on Tuesday, November the 5th on Election Day, and will be airing on Wednesday, November the 6th. As we said before, we're going to be talking with LDI Program Director from the Luray Downtown Initiative, Jackie Wood, about all the moving and shaking and happenings in downtown Luray in just a few moments. But first, let's take a look at this week's headlines. And now looking back at the week that was in the Page Valley. The Page County Recovery Court received a $1 million federal grant that will be used to enhance and expand treatment and supervision services. The funding awarded by the U.S. Department of Justice will be used over the next 4 years to offer services to at least 80 adult participants who are accepted to the drug treatment program. Funding is also earmarked to expand enrollment opportunities for high-risk and high-need offenders, bolster treatment curriculum, and improve the access to complementary services. Since launching in August of 2021, the Page County Recovery Court has seen 38 participants and 16 graduates. During the last week of October, District 4 Supervisor Isaac Smeltzer resigned from the post he had won last fall as an unopposed candidate for the Page County Board of Supervisors. After serving less than 10 months of his 4-year term, Smeltzer left few details about his sudden departure from the public office. He stated in an October 23rd letter to the county administrator and chairman of the Board of Supervisors that simply, quote, personal circumstances, end quote, led him to not be able to further serve the citizens of Page County. Total rainfall for the month of October was at just below 1 inch at 0.88 inches, or 2.25 inches below the October average of 3.13 inches. The calendar year-to-date rainfall in the Page Valley is now 33.26 inches, or 1.1 inches below average. Looking now in the world of sports, on Monday night, the 6-seeded Bulldogs of Luray fell to number 3 Central during the quarterfinal round of the Region 2B volleyball tournament in Woodstock. Luray ends its volleyball season with an 11-12 record after making it to the semifinals of the Bull Run District Tournament last week and placing junior Reese Fitton on the all-district first team. Senior Cadence Cave earned second-team honors. Friday night was another tough one for both local football teams. Luray lost on the road 40-14 at undefeated Clark County, while Page County fell 41-6 to visiting Central. That was at Buddy Comer Stadium. This Friday night, County Pride is on the line as Luray hosts Page for the season finale for both teams. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at Bulldog Field. And now looking at the weekend ahead in the Page Valley, it's a murder mystery weekend at the Mimslam Inn in Luray on Friday and Saturday. There may still be time to get last-minute tickets, so you can call the folks at the Mimslam Inn and check on that. On Friday, November 8th from 7 to 9 p.m., it's Trivia Night at the Valley Cork in downtown Luray. Then on Saturday, November 9th, lots of musical offerings. From 5 to 7 p.m., it's Music Under the Arbor at Wisteria Exterior Farm and Vineyard out on Marksville Road near Stanley, with Dwight Martin taking the stage. At 7 p.m., local musician Lee Blanton will perform Roots and Blues at the Daughter of the Stars Theater and Cultural Center on East Main Street in Stanley. And at 7:30 p.m., the Performing Arts of Luray presents the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington, D.C. They'll be performing a cabaret of soloists at the Rebecca J. Graves Regional Center for the Performing Arts in downtown Luray. And that's the headlines for the past week in the Page Valley. And we're back now inside of the Luray-Page County Visitors Center here to talk with LDI Program Director Jackie Wood. Jackie, thanks so much for taking some time to talk with us today.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. I'm glad that you thought about us.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, it's interesting for the folks listening out there. We were on the phone talking maybe about another topic, another issue, and we got to talking about, well, this is going on downtown. That's going on downtown. And I thought, light bulb goes off, hey, this might be a good topic for one of our upcoming shows. And sure enough, we've now put it together. And we're going to start off talking about the big thing you happened 4 days, well, I guess maybe 5 days ago now. There were literally hundreds of ghosts and ghouls and goblins down on Main Street. Yes. It seems like the Trick or Treat on Main was a big success.
It was a huge success, and it is a growing event for us. We estimate close to 3,000 this year. 3,000? Which is the biggest crowd we've ever had.
And if I'm not mistaken, when this thing kind of got started and going, it was maybe 1,000, maybe a little less.
Yes.
But I guess one of the keys and something that seems to have gone over very well in the last 2 years is blocking off Main Street.
And that has been absolutely wonderful. Parents love that. We get nothing but praise for that. That's a big shout out to our town manager, to our town council, to our chief Bo Cook, and they are wonderful. We have a good police presence at this event, so that again makes it feel very secure and very safe for families. Mm-hmm. The kids get a ton of candy. We have not just our Main Street merchants who hand out candy, but we also have civic groups, churches, and other businesses who join us on Main Street to participate.
So you invite others from outside of downtown to come in and participate.
Absolutely.
Well, interesting question for that then. You had approximately, you thought, about 3,000 people attend the event. How many vendors did you have handing out candy, do you think?
We had 40.
40, wow.
Including the shop owners, we had 40 total.
Wow. I hope the Ruffners out at Ruffner Dentistry don't take it against you. Because I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of candy flowing on Main Street that night. So now that the event is done, it keeps growing, big success. Is there any feedback you've gotten in the last few days of things that maybe you might change next year, or just things that people love that is absolutely going to stay the same?
I think we're going to stay on the course that we're on. I have not gotten anything but positive feedback. And we just hope that we can continue to grow the amount of vendors and the amount of people, because we like knowing that people are coming from Front Royal, Sperryville, Shenandoah County. Wow. I mean, when I'm having the ability, I'll ask folks and they'll tell me, oh no, we came from, we live in Sperryville, but we heard about it and we wanted to join this year.
One of the things that I love locally is that the town of Stanley always schedules theirs on maybe a Saturday before or something, that they don't conflict on the same day. I tell you, if you are a youngster in Page County, boy, this is the time of year when, we got Christmas parades coming up before too long, before we know it, and lots of candy being handed out. We're going to switch gears now, get off of the Halloween event, which, as we said, was a huge success. So now let's talk about the heart of this interview, some moving and shaking down on Main Street. And we're just going to bop around everywhere, but maybe to help the viewer a little bit, we'll start with Watch and Warrant, and we're going to work our way up that side of Main Street because there's several things to talk about between there and the railroad tracks. So is there any movement at this point on the sale or lease of the former Watch and Warrant restaurant?
Well, as you know, it is being handled by a company out of Richmond. They're the realtor that's handling it. There has been interest in it. I have guided folks in the direction of where to get the information. But at this time, Randy, I have no concrete of anybody putting any type of offers down or anything of that nature.
Okay, they certainly had a great menu. I was hated to see them close.
Yes, it was very sad to see them close.
Yep. All right, let's continue now. And I should have mentioned at the start that I wore my fancy jacket today because we're getting down to business, and we're talking business today in downtown Luray. So we go a little further up a few doors, and I believe there's going to be a new business in a formerly or recently empty storefront by the name of Zora Jane's. What is Zora Jane's going to be?
That is correct. Zora Jane's is going to be an event space. They will be able to accommodate up to 60 people.
Okay.
They are now taking reservations for 2025, and they're also taking reservations for November and December. They're ready to go. Barbie Stombach and Greg Lockridge. The Zora was his mother's name, and Jane was Barbie's mom's name. So this has been a true labor of love that they have put forth here, and they are going to have a commercial kitchen as well as a caterer's kitchen.
Okay.
And they will be doing on-site catering as part of their packages as well.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to our Main Street.
So whether a supper club wanted to have a meeting, or an organization wanted to have a meeting, or a wedding, rehearsal dinner, or whatever it may be.
Baby shower,
anything. Birthday party, anniversary.
Absolutely.
And again, the name of that is Zora Jane's. And just so people are understanding, that's next to Virginia Gifts?
Yes. It's next to Virginia Gift Shop.
Okay. So we go further on up, and these are already existing businesses. And, since my younger days, I've had a sip of alcohol here and there, but I've been to wineries. I've actually even been to the distillery when I was over in Culpeper. Is it Copper Fox? Copper Fox over in Culpeper. But I have never been to a meadery, and I have never been to a cidery. And now we have both within a couple hundred feet of each other on Main Street. Tell me about that.
So the cidery right now has kind of been put on hold. We're not sure what's going to happen there. So, but we're hoping it's going to come about. But Saga opened their doors. Saga Winery and Meadery opened their doors August 31st.
Okay.
And they have, I have heard nothing but great reviews about about their offerings, their wines, their mead, and they also have a location in Front Royal.
Okay.
And they started out down in Front Royal, and then they decided to choose Luray as a second home for their business.
Now that's the meadery, and what's the name of it again?
Saga Winery and Meadery.
Saga Winery and Meadery, and is that the one in the old in the Antique Mall, or the old next to Uncle Buck's?
That is the one that's in the Antique Mall. Was the
on the other side of the gravel
right,
lot.
The old auction house.
Kind of across from the insurance office and from Valley Court.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what about the cidery? Is that the one next to Uncle Buck's?
They were looking at next to Uncle Buck's. Yes, the
Okay.
Cody building. They were looking at that. But right now, I think that might be a little on hold, from what I'm understanding.
Based on the building issues that Susan Corbett is the owner, and she's been kind of public about that, had some issues, and those haven't been worked out yet.
No, sir.
But the cidery is still kind of in waiting?
We're hoping.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Okay. So, wow. Think about this. Our little town of, 4,800 and some people, and we've got a distillery, with was it Blue Shepherd? Blue Shepherd. We've got the brewery at Hawksbill Brewing. We've now got a meadery, and we've got a cidery in waiting, and of course we've got Valley Court downtown as well, and we've got some other vineyards and things in the county. Wow, a lot of that is really, and that's one of the biggest, I think, tourism areas in terms of breweries, distilleries, wineries, that has expanded all across Virginia, I believe.
Absolutely, and I think that, and it gives folks a variety of offerings and more things to bring them downtown and keep them downtown.
Right.
Because that's our goal.
Absolutely. Now, I said I was going to go up the same side of the street. I'm just going to mention, and I hate to pick out people, but some of us have personal favorites and all. But I'm going to tell you, if you have a special occasion coming up, or even not, and you have a chance to go to the Chop House, wow. I mean, all I got to say is those folks came over from Harrisonburg. They've been in business a year.
October was a year, yes.
Oh, wow. Hit it on the nose.
October was a year.
So they've been going for a year. I think they are very popular, reasonably priced for what you're getting. It is a higher end menu, but it's it's worth it. I'm telling you right now, just that mac and cheese. I don't know what they do with the mac and cheese, but that alone is worth the price of admission. So we're going to look at some other things. Let's go to the other end, towards West Main Street. And Porch and Vine. Now that's a little spot next to Ollie Katz that has had a sign up for a while, and people are kind of wondering, well, what's it going to be? Okay, it's going to be some kind of an eatery, but yet they're going to couple it with wine, and there might be pop-up chefs, and we've heard all sorts of different things, and we keep kind of waiting. So now, what's the latest on Porch and Vine?
Well, they are taking their time, as we can all attest to.
Sure.
They want to make sure they get it right.
Sure,
I mean, this has been a labor of love for them as well. You know, they've taken that old building, and I've been taking periodic tours with Tony Vila and looking at the improvements, and it's going to be beautiful. I mean, it really is. I mean,
And it's not going to be just a diner. I mean, they're looking at something very unique.
They are, yeah, and they are looking for something very unique. They're on the cusp of knowing exactly what they want to do, but they're still tweaking some things. But they are interviewing chefs. They are
Not only that, but I saw a message that Tony had sent you that they're interviewing chefs from all over the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, because they want to be able to have offerings that maybe like a small plate type things like that, but then they also want to be able to do things where it's maybe a 5 or 6 course meal, a presentation, for lack of a better term. So they're taking their time with it. They're going to make sure that when they open, that they open right. You know, they've watched other restaurants open and maybe not be quite as ready as they should have been, and that chaos. So they've really been doing their homework, and you know, they want to make it right, and they are so invested in Downtown Luray. They truly are.
Well, talking about Tony, and of course he works with IBR, and IBR purchased the Old Bridge Theater, and what used to be Brown's Restaurant.
Correct.
It was an iconic restaurant in downtown Luray for many, many years. That's another project that a lot of folks are kind of watching as they drive by every day and kind of tapping their foot going, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So I'll throw that question to you. What's the latest news on the Old Bridge Theater and the former Brown's Restaurant?
Well, in talking with them again, they have been in there, going through the building, working toward getting the renovation going. They have uncovered some artifacts, from what I understand, and apparently there's quite a bit of history with that building.
Well, just when they took off some of the facade on the front, you could see that what was behind it was extremely old.
Right. And so, again, they want to restore it. They want to restore it back to being a dignified building, making it a beautiful location on our main street. That old theater apparently was like a vaudeville type theater back in the day.
Yes.
And so, of course, and I can remember that there were offices upstairs and things like that. So I think that they're wanting to get Porch and Vine up and running and get that going, and then they can focus their efforts on the Browns location and start that process, because that's a big project.
Oh, no, there's no question. It's going to take a lot of money to get that maybe where they want it to. But I love the fact that we're preserving that old theater. You look at some other projects around the state. I don't know if you've been to Culpeper and seen what they did with their old state theater.
Yes.
Down on I guess that's their main, the way that goes, because you got Davis Street that perpendicular. But the old state theater down there, and they tried to preserve the way it used to look, and it took a while, and it took a community effort. A nonprofit formed, and they did a great job. And that's been done in several places. Charlottesville, if you go further back, even years further back, they did the same thing with the old Paramount Theater there. And so I'm loving the fact that we're going to preserve this old theater in downtown Luray.
Absolutely. And if you've been to Stanton, they're doing their theater in Stanton.
Okay.
And I was up there for a directors meeting, and we took a tour, and it is phenomenal. It's just beautiful at what they're doing.
Wow. A couple of other things that I've got, but you're going to know about more than me, so I'm just going to mention a couple of more that I know about. I believe Bill Fisher is the owner of a building there at the corner, just up from Vivian's Flower Shop, where they're taking some siding off and revealing some old, huge logs in the original building. I think it looks awesome. I think what little bit they've unveiled, I think when they get done with it, it's going to be something that everybody that drives down Main Street is going to be, oh, look at that Look at that building. Now, do you know anything about that? That's going to be residential, I'm sure.
I am thinking so. I know that Bill is working on it. When I've spoken with him briefly, and they haven't made a lot of decisions yet. They want
Right.
to get the restoration done, and
Sure.
I think then kind of go from there. That's what they're doing.
I just love that because that's, there have been some people in town, like for example, downtown when Powell put up the electronic sign, okay? That was it shouldn't have been controversial in my opinion, but it was a little controversial because for some people it was a little too flashy, or maybe it didn't show that heritage part or the history part of the town or preservation. Well, that project Bill Fisher's got going on will absolutely speak to historical preservation, and that's going to be a really, really cool looking building, I think, when they're finished. Another one, and this just went to auction on Halloween. When y'all were getting ready to do your trick-or-treating downtown, there was a pretty good crowd there that bid, and the Memslam Inn had the winning bid. I think it was about $217,000.
Yes.
But it's going to take a lot of work to get that
Yes.
that house. If you're looking at the Memslam from Main Street, it would be on the left. That had gotten a little grown up with some high grass and weeds and trees and stuff. And the Memslam has now bought it, and we can only imagine that they're going to get that looking nice.
I'm so excited about that. Just so excited. I think it's going to be that corner. It's just going to make all the difference in the world with that corner. It's going to be beautiful.
And officially for you and LDI, downtown extends.
Yes.
Out to the Memslam?
Yes.
Out to the Memslam.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it did. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big improvement. And no slight on the former owners, but it has been a bit of a little on the blight side. And to have it right there next to one of our showcase pieces, the Memslam Inn downtown, to have that now fixed up, I think that is a big, big step forward. Now, one other, I said there were only two. I have one other one that I know about, and that's right here across the street from where we did our intro a moment ago here at the Visitors Center. What used to be the old art warehouse is going to become residential space, affordable housing for working class folks, not upscale. But it is going to have some, I believe, some telework or office space. There's going to be a gym in the building for the residents, a commercial kitchen, and downstairs and a restaurant as well. What do you know about that project at this point, and any changes to what we've heard already?
So there's a group of investors who purchased this building. The studies have been done. They've received their parking waivers from our town council.
That just happened in the last month or two.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're definitely, it's a go. We're moving forward. The group is moving forward. It is supposed to be 21 apartments total in the building, which is going to be wonderful.
Yes.
And as you said, affordable living space for people to work.
Well, I even heard the developer tell the council during a recent meeting that, hey, we could charge more if we wanted to. We could get, if we went just with market value, we could be charging, I don't know, maybe $1,500 a unit, which is, to me, a month is crazy. But they're specifically trying to target this for, to teachers, policemen, working class people that can afford it. And that's one thing I really respect about that group coming
Absolutely.
in. And I think they're going to do a good job.
Oh, I think they're going to do an amazing job. This is going to be about a 2-year project.
Yes.
To be completed. They are looking at putting in downstairs a co-work space, which I think is going to be huge for our area because we have so many people who work remotely or partially remotely. And we have so many parts of the county right now that still, the internet is still wonky. It's not very good. And I mean,
We're getting there though. That broadband project is getting close to its final stages.
And, students, will be able to access it if they've got a paper to write or something. And they don't have internet at home, they'll be able to use that space. And so that's going to be a great thing for us. Downstairs, that basement in that building is just beautiful.
Yes, and it's something I haven't seen much.
Beautiful. And so we're looking at a restaurant down there. We're talking about a potential game room, a music venue, the talk of the commercial kitchen going in down there. And so talk about your multi-use building.
Yeah, because that's what y'all have been trying to do.
It's going to be wonderful. And so it's a great project. And again, thank them, for investing in Luray.
Yeah, and thank goodness that building didn't sit vacant for so long. I know how many folks were heartbroken when the art warehouse had to move out. I mean, it wasn't just Jim Mays that was getting misty and torn up about that. I think a lot of people in town were upset about that and wondered what was going to happen. So at least something positive, very positive, has come of that. And, you know, I hadn't been in that. Last time I was in that basement, I think John Coleman was working out of there and had stuff stored in there years ago.
That's been a long time
I mean,
ago.
that's just a couple of decades or more ago. But it is a very nice space, and they're talking about using some of the green space out back.
Yes.
And it's I think that's going to be a great project because housing is one of our big issues, not only just downtown, the whole town of Luray. So I think additional housing units at an affordable price, major step forward. Now, I've just about run out of the places that I know. Are there any other things on the horizon maybe that you could give us a little clue about, certain spots? I know there was some talk at the, is it Outfitters on the corner of the
AOA.
Appalachian Outdoor Adventures.
Outfitters.
Appalachian Outfitters. There we go. So Appalachian Outfitters, there was maybe going to be a change of hands there, but it looks like that has stayed in the same hands for now.
It has for now.
But there are some discussions going on.
But there are some discussions going on that I'm not really at liberty to
Okay,
talk about right now.
okay.
But I'm hoping that is going to remain a retail space. I'm very hopeful.
So tell me right now, make me really happy. Who's going to buy the old Micromack building?
Oh, wow. You know what? If I could get in touch with the owner, I could probably sell that building for him.
Oh my gosh. You know, the last thing I remember about that building, and I'm talking, this is almost a quarter century ago, or at least 22, 23 years ago. There used to be people who lived in apartments upstairs.
Right.
And there was a fire.
Oh.
And I remember that part of the story was that they had tied electrical cords together to climb out the window to escape the fire. But we're talking 20-some years ago. And that's the last time that building was inhabited. Wow. So that must have been 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere in that neighborhood. Might have been around the time we had some of those arson fires in 2003.
Well,
that burnt down the building next to Page News and Courier. There was an apartment
that's right.
house over there too.
Because I know when I went to work at the Page News and Courier in 2003, there had started being it looked like a little bit of movement with that building that they were going to do something, but then it stopped. So.
All right. So before we move on to the last topic before our break, any other potential thing, even if you can't give us the details, any discussions, anything brewing or bubbling else on Main Street that we might want to know about?
So the Compass Tea has been sold.
Oh, yes.
And that has been sold to the Hoke family.
Okay.
And so a young lady by the name of Allie Hoke, she is looking at opening up a retail space there.
Okay.
And so I just want to tell everybody to pay attention and come in soon because I'll let her tell her story when she's ready. She's ready to share what she's doing. But I think it's going to be another great addition to our Main Street. I can tell you because she announced it at Halloween. The name of it is going to be called the Purple Brew.
The Purple Brew, and that's going to be the little building between IBR and Watch and Warren on Broad.
Right.
One other one I just thought about. What about next to the dance studio, that little skinny brick building that sits between the Outfitters and the dance studio? Somebody had told me there might be something going on there.
Well, that used to, a long time ago, that was Thompson's shoe repair. It was a cobbler shop.
Cobbler shop. Okay.
And it has sat empty for years. And I know that there was some discussion with the owners, the people that own it now, the Broad Porch Coffee folks.
Right.
And I know that they were working with the county on a grant, and I know, and for whatever reason, that did not happen. But so I'm not sure what their next move is going to be with that building.
But that building has been purchased by the folks at the coffee shop,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So
That's
at least it's in new hands,
yes.
And there's probably going to be some
and
plans
they are
for
very,
that.
very progressive.
Yes,
and they do a great job on our Main Street.
Matter of fact, they were kind of one of the ones, I won't say that they got the ball rolling, but they were one of the early ones in this sort of recent wave that over the last several years that kind of got things changing on Main Street. So that's great. All right, we'll move on now to last part of our first segment here. And I just want to give you an opportunity. I had learned that the Luray Downtown Initiative has been recognized by Virginia Main Street program, has won some awards and special recognition. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to brag about that a little bit and talk about it.
We received 3 milestone awards this year for building improvement,
Okay.
for volunteer hours,
Okay.
and for private investments, which is one that I'm extremely proud of because we are unique in a way with our Main Street that most of our stakeholders, they own their own property.
Right.
They operate the building that they own, they're operating their businesses out of.
And they're right here. They're not in Maryland
Right,
or D.C.
right.
somewhere else.
They're here, and some of them even live above their shops.
wow.
So,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that showed, to me, that is something that we should be very proud of, to know that people are willing to invest like that into this town.
Not only is that private sector individual willing to put their money and investment, but they are diving in terms of living here. And I agree.
yeah.
That level of commitment is what you want to see.
Right.
Before we cut off this first segment, any upcoming projects or events to promote?
Absolutely.
Always.
I've got a
Always.
list. There's always something going on. November the 30th, it will be a Small Business Saturday.
Okay.
And that's something that we do every year. Our small businesses will be doing specials and stuff because it's the holiday season. Now, remember the 30th through December the 22nd, that is our Shop Small for the Holidays program. And that's a county-wide program that LDI, the Town of Luray, the Chamber, Town of Shenandoah, Town of Stanley, that we're all, we're just kind of working a joint effort to promote shopping in Page County, shopping small for holiday. Then the Chamber will be having its holiday festival on December the 6th from 4 to 8. We kind of partner in essence with them because we handle the Christmas tree lighting at LDI. The Christmas tree lighting will be at 7:30. I encourage everyone to come because if you missed the snow last year, you don't want to miss what Farmer Tony has in store for this year.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have a lot of things. That's going to be a really good event. Christmas parade will be December the 6th, or excuse me, December 12th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And the theme this year is Christmas movie memories.
Oh, boy. Okay, all right.
So yeah, we do have quite a bit going on. And another project that LDI is working on is our cookbook fundraiser that we're doing.
Okay.
Folks can visit our website and they can click on the cookbook information and submit their recipes.
Give them the website.
And the website is www.luraydowntowninitiative.com.
Spelled out.
Yeah, spelled out. And they can read the information and submit their recipes. They can drop them off here or they can go into the type and save and put them on online because we're collecting recipes from everyone in the area. It's going to be called Delicious Memories.
Oh, Delicious Memories. All right. Well, we will be on the lookout for that. We're going to pause for a quick moment here for another little break with our sponsor. Will you stick around and play a game called the 5 W's with us?
Absolutely.
I knew you would because you've done it before. We're going to be back in just a moment with Jackie Wood right after this. At Luray Caverns, the Smithsonian Institution said, quote, "It is safe to say there is probably no other cave in the world more completely and profusely decorated than that of Luray. Come see Mother Nature showing off, only at Luray Caverns. Visit them online at luraycaverns.com to plan your trip today." Okay, hi everybody, we're back now, and we're going to finish up real quick by playing a quick Q&A game called the 5 W's. I'm going to ask you 5 simple questions about the who, what, when, where, and why. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready. All right, here we go. Who are some of the biggest supporters of Main Street in Luray?
The town of Luray itself, our mayor and town council, our town manager, and our town staff, Parks and Recs, Public Works, all of them are amazing at helping and supporting the Luray Downtown Initiative. And I love working with all of them. The Luray Caverns is also a big supporter of ours. And my board of directors, I have an amazing board of directors, and we have an excellent president.
All right, outstanding. What makes Luray's downtown unique?
The Luray Greenway.
Yes. If not, there's probably a bunch of things, but that is the big one.
It is a centerpiece, and every time that we do any kind of surveys or anything, that's the #1 attraction to downtown, is the Greenway.
And hasn't there been a number of groups from other little towns in the state and maybe outside of Virginia that have come and visited and
Yes.
looked at it as something that they wanted
Yes.
to do and all?
Yes.
Okay. An example for others. I love it. When might we see the next new business open in downtown Luray?
Probably within the probably next few weeks.
Next few weeks. Now, is that one we've already talked about?
It is.
Which one?
Which would be the Purple Brew.
The Purple Brew.
I know
All
they're
right.
working hard to get open.
Okay, and again, that's down next between Watch and Warren and the IBR office there. Where is the next big event in downtown?
I guess the next big event will be the Christmas tree lighting.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. And that would be right after the open house here at the visitor center that the chamber hosts.
Absolutely.
And they were 4 to 7?
4 to 8.
4 to
They're
8.
4 to 8. Ours is at 7:30, so folks can come down, see the tree be lit, and if they want to come back up and finish up their shopping here, that would be great.
All right, there you go. And we did the where, now the why. Always the why, the last one. Why is the success of downtown Luray so key to the success of the town of Luray as a whole?
Because the downtown Luray is the heart of Luray. It truly is. And we are working very hard. All of our business owners, we're all working very hard together to continue to improve, as you're seeing. We're constantly trying to improve. And it's very important to this community and to the health of the town as a whole.
Well, keep on doing what you've been doing. Things are going well. We've had a good streak. Haven't had quite as many ribbon cuttings lately, but that could change soon. And it also means I think we're also doing a better job of retaining
Absolutely.
what we've already got. So we want to say thank you to Jackie Wood. Thanks for spending some time with us today. And thanks for all you've done for the community and what you'll continue to do for the community.
Thank you, Randy, and thank you for what Page Valley News does for the community as well.
Thank you. The coughing had to come in right at the end.
Sure.
We want to also say thank you to Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera and in the editing room this week. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure you hit that like button and share it with a friend and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. And finally, make sure you visit all of our furry friends down at the Page County Animal Shelter and help them find a forever home. Until next week, I'm Randy Arrington saying enjoy that Page Valley living.